Okay, first off, I did get my external mic working. Basically what happened was I bought a new iPhone, and the new iPhones don't have a headphone jack. So I got the connector, because I know everybody was kind of angry about the last video because of the wind. But honestly, we didn't have a whole lot to say anyway. We were just basically showing you the fire. So now we've got the mic. Hopefully you can hear me better. All right, so to start off, I disconnected all these panels and I moved them over, as you can see, about an inch. Because I have OCD and I couldn't take that they were hanging off one side. Okay, so that's the first thing we done this morning. As you can see, they're hanging over about an inch on that side, about an inch on that side. I can't do anything about the white stripes because the white stripes is where all the connections come together underneath. That's basically where the power heads are underneath. So, but now they're even this way anyway, even though they're sticking over each side. But I'm just gonna have to deal with that. Okay, so that's done. They're all reconnected, everything's tight. Second of all, while we were doing rubber pickup out on the interstate yesterday at work, look what I found. Well, one of my friends at work found it. It's a 390 watt panel, puts out 48 volts. I've done tested it. It was putting out 47.8 volts and 373 watts, and it's a 390 watt panel. So I got that. I don't know how that got ripped off of a camper and did not break, but you can clearly see it was connected to something, and I'm assuming probably a camper. It's not broke. It works beautiful. It looks the way it does right now because it's got dust on it, but so we'll find something to do with that. That's a good panel. All right, so this is all reconnected. All we got to do is get the paint. We've got paint. We just got to get this painted, as you can see. And Donna has been over here digging our trench for our wiring. I think I told you guys before, these other top 6 panels are coming down into this conduit, and if I would have thought about it, I would have got a bigger conduit and I could have just fed them wires down too, but whatever, I didn't. So everything's already connected under here. These are the 2 wires that'll be going into the charge controller. That's what those are hanging. I just got them tied up right now. I haven't gotten everything tied up yet, but basically we have those 2 panels and that one all in series, and then I've got these 2 panels and that one down there at the bottom all in series, and we are putting out 107 volts right now. That's what we're putting out of those 6 panels. These 6 are putting out about 103 right now, I think it was. I just looked a little bit ago. So yeah, so that's what's next. So basically we just got to get our trench dug over to the shed. I'll bring my conduit up, bring my wires across, drop it down in the conduit, and then the rest of the work will be inside. So I'm not going to bore you with digging. Okay, the wind's blowing. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'll check this video and see how these mics are doing because they do have a windsock on them. I've got it ran down into the conduit in there. It goes underground over to the shed, up inside the shed, and then it comes into the shed right here on these 2 wires. And as you can see, I got that moved, or that was up here. We got it moved down. That's our old charge controller. This is the new charge controller. I hooked it up, and as soon as I hook it up to the batteries, it throws a huge spark. So I don't know what's wrong with it. There's no reverse polarity. The solar panels aren't even hooked up yet, so I know it's not an issue there. So I don't know. So that charge controller is that charge controller. It's the same exact one. I don't know. So now the place that I bought it from up in Phoenix is not open on Saturdays. They're only open Monday through Friday. So I sent them a message and told them, hey, as soon as I hook this thing up to the battery bank, it's throwing sparks everywhere. Not out of that, but throwing sparks down here at the batteries. So I'm not going to keep tempting it. So I tried it twice and it did it twice. So I just took it all off. This one's doing fine. Like I said, we don't need the additional power right now. As you can see, the batteries or the panels out there are putting in 103 volts, and the batteries are setting at 14.7 right now, and we've been running stuff all day, so it's more than enough power. It's just I just wanted to get it hooked up because I got everything done now. But so anyway, on that, I'm gonna have to wait till Monday on that and find out what they're gonna do with that charge controller, because like I said, it's brand new. All Alright, so on this, the only thing left to do is I got to get this capped off, and what I done on the other one is just filled it with silicone. Just coated it really good so water don't get down in it. That's about all I really need to do. And then probably just clean up the panels a little bit. They're not too bad, but kind of might want to clean those up just a little bit. Other than that, that's about it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect these panels up, get those 6 running. Now I'll shoot you in here real quick. And what I'm going to do is disconnect these 2 wires, which are going to my other set of panels, and I'll bring those 2 wires up into this charge controller, so at least I can make sure that everything's working okay and those panels are working good. But it's showing about 112 volts coming in on those, so I'm sure they're fine. But I'll probably hook those into that charge controller just to double check everything. Okay, so I got the new panels hooked up now. Disconnected the old ones, not that they're any older, but anyway. What we're getting is we're kind of varying from 105 to 110 volts coming out of those new panels. So a couple more volts out of those, not a whole lot. So I just kind of wanted to prove that they did work and there wasn't an issue with those. It's definitely that charge controller. I don't know what its issue is. But the bad thing is, if we have to return it, we got to go clear up to Phoenix to return it. Unless they're willing to send me a new one and let me send this one back. I don't know. We'll have to see Monday. So anyway, those are working. And let's see, the batteries are setting at, let's see what we got here. So we're 104, 105 now. And let's see. Batteries are setting at 14.7. It shuts off at 14.6, but sometimes it'll go up a little bit, about 20 amps. 65 degrees on the batteries, and we know that because we bought these, where's that at? Here's the battery sensors that we bought. This one's for the new charge controller actually. It's not hooked up to anything, but this is what the sensors look like. And basically they just sit down in between the batteries so that they're touching the batteries, and it just reads the temperature coming off of them. That way you don't overheat your batteries. So, alright, so I'm going to let this run for a little bit today, kind of see what those new panels do. They got a little more wattage. They're 260s too, so see what they do.